Hi, it's Bronwyn from Rap, and today I'm working on another brilliant pop track from the Too Deep label called It's Not Me, It's You, and you can get it from rloops.com. In today's video, I'm going to go through the process of how to get your pop vocal to really sit in the mix. So let's get started. The first thing that you want to do when you are dealing with pop vocals is you want to listen to that vocal part and get a good, clean performance sorted, and then start to process with effects like delays and reverbs later. So you're going to listen to your vocal performance part and see if there are any mouth noises, clicks, pops, breath noises, and so on that you need to deal with. And then you can choose, are you going to turn them down? Are you going to fade them out? Are you going to mute them? There are a lot of really great tools that you can use to clean up your vocals. And one of them is to remove the silence or to split silence in the audio regions. This is a nice automatic way of being able to quickly clean up your vocals. You just have to go and check and make sure that those regions haven't actually clipped off a part of the sound that you're actually needing to keep. But it's a quick way of getting to the parts and cleaning them up, and then you can just go in and manually adjust as you like. For me, my process is to go through the vocal piece by piece, part by part, and to listen to it in solo mode so I can really just hear that vocal part by itself. Nothing's disguised, and I can really then get to grips and clean up that vocal track. You can see over here there were a lot of breath noises. Some of them I've faded. You can see that I've added in a fade. Some of them I've actually muted. And just to give you an idea, over here, around about the 8-second mark is some mouth and click noises. Have a listen. I'm a fool. And you can hear that there's a nice double breath there as well. So I'm basically all I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim back that part. I'm going to fade it a bit there. I'm going to fade it a bit here. And let's have a listen now. Again, I'm a fool. I might just open that a little bit more. Again, I'm a fool. And I've kept that little breath in there because you don't want to take everything out too much. You still want to know that the person that's singing is actually a human. So to leave some of the breaths in is not a bad idea at times. Then from my analog days in the studio, I developed a really, really good mix and recording habit of what we call riding the fader. This is basically in real time as the performance is being tracked to tape. You move the fader up and down to smooth out the levels in the performance. You push a little bit harder in areas where you need the vocal to be more present, and you pull back to sit nicely in the mix. Nowadays, in most of your DAWs, you can not only automate this function and have a real-time visual display of where you're at, but then you can also go after the fact and edit what you've done and make any additional changes. That's really cool. In analog, if you made a mistake, you did it again and again and again and again until it was perfect. So as you can see on the vocal track here, you can see that I've got a very nice automation curve. And you can also see that they're very gentle adjustments that I've made. Nothing too extreme at all. Now, for those that have worked with me, they know that pitch correction is not really my favorite tool, but in pop music, it's a very useful tool. In fact, I'd go so far as to say it's a must-have. Even the very best vocalists sometimes need a little bit of help, and in modern pop genres, you can also create all sorts of special effects with pitch correction. I just tend to put my pitch corrector right at the end of my processing chain on the channel. Another thing that you need to do with your pop vocal is a dedicated de-esser. I like to use a dedicated de-esser. I've got my favorite, which is the sibilance here from Waves, but there are many different ways that you can utilize or create your own de-esser by using an EQ and a compressor. The whole idea of the de-esser is just to shape and to manage that top end, particularly in the vocal, in female vocal and sometimes male vocal as well. Then for the EQ, for female vocals, I'll put a low cut at around about 100 hertz and sometimes move that low cut up to even about 120, 150 hertz. So when you're EQing for pop vocals, obviously a low cut is a must, and then you want to clean up again any unnecessary frequencies. For females around about 100 hertz, sometimes higher, even to 150 hertz. You can see I've added another low cut in at about 120 hertz or so. You want to look for any resonances that need dealing with. You can do a frequency sweep, and you can find that resonance or that tone to be dealt with. And then, of course, a bit of sweetening. You want a bit of a bump here and a cut there, and it makes all the difference. Compression for pop vocals, you are looking for a compressor that has a really nice fast attack and release control, and something that can also help to add in some character and help you define your tone, but also manage those peaks and not clamp down too much on the vocal, as the vocal does need to be quite present in the mix. The last thing is that pop songs are defined by full, wide vocals that really fill the stereo image of the mix. And there are a lot of ways that you can do this. One of the ways is to duplicate the main track. As you can see, I've done here, pan one left and the other right. You can also do different EQ on each track. And you can see that here, although they look really similar, there are enough differences just to create some nice ear candy. And then, of course, my favorite trick for pop is probably the vocoder. You can see that I have created some pseudo backing vocals here off of my main or my lead vocal. And I've got different patterns, and I just really enjoy working with a vocoder. Right, so there you have it. You're going to follow these easy steps and processes. It's a nice professional approach to pop vocals. First, clean up the vocal track to get a good clean performance, and then start your processing with effects and delays and reverbs later. I'm calling up my mix. You'll be able to see me riding the fader, as well as all the different techniques with the duplicated backing vocals come in to get that nice full wide spread, and the vocoders coming in as well. And that's it from me. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you again in the next video.
Try to say the word, but I'm not talking. I'm a fool. I treat you like a de-esser. You said that it's my fault that you're not kind, babe. It's on me. I think it's you. You're the real fool. Yeah, I said that I would get to know you want to leave, but look around you, it's not scary, and I'm here. I said that I would get to know you want